Another very important part of aligning correctly in any standing pose, for example, Tadasana, is to make sure the knees, the hips are aligned. So when we're aligning ourselves in Tadasana, a very common instruction is not just to have the ankles, knees and hips aligned, but to check that we're energizing a little from the knees. A helpful instruction for some is imagine the four corners of each knee are lightly lifting up. For others, it's just simple, a light drawing of the knees up. So you're going to activate the muscles in your upper legs. It's very light. But once you've got your knees aligned, we want to focus on the hips. Now, the first part of the hips is to make sure that you're not really losing the alignment. Often when we get tired, you'll find your tailbone will tend to lift, you'll amplify the curve in your lower spine. What we want is we want a nice balance between hip flexion and extension. So just make sure your hips feel well aligned. Most of the time you tuck the tailbone under. But there's other aspects to hip alignment. And these include tuning in. First of all, if you notice without any intention, how do your feet naturally fall? You might find that you tend to angle your feet out wide. If that's your habit, then posturally, you want to have a very light intention to internally rotate your hips and your thighs when you're in a standing Tadasana pose. Again, it's very light, no strain. But if, let's say, you're pigeon-toed, ideally you're favoring a very light movement the other way, subtly externally rotating your thighs and your hips. So position of the hips is very important in so many poses, and just tuning into it in Tadasana will make a big difference. Okay, knees and hips.